Welcome back to Are You Ready for Stats? In the previous video, we were looking at the geome column, and I said that we would facet this time in this video. So today, faceting is creating separate graphs based on either a categorical variable, or it could be a ordinal variable. So a variable that is not continuous. So here we have diet, and I am going to facet by the diet. So as I said to you before, I like to add different objects while I'm working on creating my final product so that I can see if there are any errors within each individual graph. So sometimes when you run a whole chunk, you'll get an error, but you actually don't know where the error is. So my logic is to do separate ones so I can see specifically where I have issues. So I'm going to create plot 2. I'm adding that to plot 1, and I am going to do what's called a facet wrap, if I can spell. And then within that wrap, I'm telling R what I want it to wrap it by. And so you do the tilde, and then you write the variable you want the separate graphs to be created for. So we're doing it for diet. So I'm going to type in the word diet. And remember, it has to have the exact same spelling and capitalization as the variable named in the data set. So when I run that, I also need to print it. And so in line 20, I'm writing just plot 2 so that it will print. Now, best practice, even though I just picked up from the last video, make sure you always run your library line and your data line if you have one. If you remember, or if this video is new, chick weight is from the base R, so I don't have a data line, but I'm going to run all of these lines together just to act like it's a brand new session of R. So now you can see that it faceted, so it created separate graphs for each of the diets, which is why each graph has its own color. So in the one that we created for plot 1, it faceted and then filled, or excuse me, it didn't facet yet. It filled by diet, which is why they all had a separate color. Now when we facet, they actually get their own graph. So the next thing I want to show you is how to add labels to a graph. So how we can add different titles. So again, I'm going to switch to line 20. Instead of printing, I'm going to change it to plot 3, and I'm going to add to that plot 2, and I'm going to add here labels. And so we just write labs in there. And then there are different options, and you can see the suggestions that are given to you. So title is one. So let's title the graph. So graph, this is chicken weight by time. And then we can also create a subtitle. And when we write these, we're going to do equals and then in quotes. And then my subtitle would be for 4 different diets. And then I could also add things like a caption, and maybe I would say data from base R. And it's okay if it falls down to the next line. I actually could also do that myself. Like if I wanted to be able to see these separately, I could push enter just so it looked neater. And then in line 22, I'm going to write plot 3 so that it prints that graph. Now I'm highlighting both line 20, 21, and 22 so that it will run and create the object. That's what line 20 does, and 21. And then remember, line 22 is what prints it or makes the graph show. So now you can see the caption, you can see the title, and then a subtitle, and it's faceted by the diet type. So that is faceting and labeling. In the next video, I will show you how to clean this up even a little bit more. If this video helps, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in future videos.